As we approach this week's Parsha, Parshat Shelach, everyone knows it talks about the Meraglim, even though it doesn't mention the word Meraglim in this week's Parsha. It's Latur Ta'aretz. And it's a very, very serious moment because if you look at the Mishnah in the Sechet Ta'anit in Perek Dalid of the 5 tragedies that happened in Tisha B'Av, the first and the earliest one, B'Tisha B'Av Nigzar al Avotenu Shlo Yikatzu La'aretz, because of the Chet of the Meraglim. And there's a tremendous amount of ink that's been spilled trying to figure out what exactly was the Chet of the Meraglim. Most of the literature here, it's in Parshat Shelach, in Parshat Dvarim, in Tehillim Perek Kuvav. But there's one word that's brought actually in Parshat Matot that describes what this egregious error was. And I believe the message is piercing and as relevant as it was at the time of the Meraglim as it is today. In Perek Lamed Bet, where it talks about Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain having a tremendous amount of cattle, and they say they want to stay over in the eastern Jordan River. And we know right before the tremendous Musar Shmuz that Moshe says to Gad and Ruvain, "Ha'achechem yavo lemelchama v'atem tishu fo." Your brother's going to come to war, and you're going to sit here all nice with your rechush. And he describes V'lama tini'un elev b'nei Yisrael. What are you going to be doing to Bnei Yisrael? He uses the word tini'un. Exactly what you're asking now. To stay on the eastern side of the Jordan River, you should know you haven't learned from history. Ko asu avotechem. He goes into a historical diatribe. Bishalchi otam mikadesh barnea t'si Eretz Yisrael. Vayalu at Nachal Eshkol. Vayiru at Haaretz. They saw the land. And what did they do? The Torah here describes, in Moshe's Musar Shmuz here to Bnei Gad Bnei Ruvain, what was the Chet of the Meraglim? Vayaniu et leiv b'nei Yisrael leviltivo el haaretz asher natan lahem Hashem. Vayaniu, spelled Vav Yud Nun Yud Aleph Vav. Vayaniu. And the first, I'm trying to figure out what did they do to the leiv b'nei Yisrael. Rashi here says, as Chazal sometimes say, that the Aleph and the Ayin are interchangeable. It's from the language of Monea. You prevented them from coming to Eretz Yisrael. If you look at Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch says you have to understand in Hebrew we have a spectrum of roots. We have on one side nun ayin, na, to move, shvana for those Balei Kri out there where you're moving. Tenuah is movement. The other side is nach, where shvanach, where it's not pronounced, it's stopping. Minucha, you stop. You've reached your destination. Explains Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, Vayaniu comes from the language of na, which is smack in the middle. You haven't reached your destination, you're going halfway. Al tivashel mivushal na, we said in Shmot. The concept of it can't be baked halfway or cooked halfway, it has to be roasted. When you're pleading with somebody, please don't do this. Na! Don't please, nun aleph, don't do this. Vayaniu et leiv b'nei Yisrael. You know what the Meraglim did? HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised generation, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and he is Yakum Lo'olam Vayed. He wants this. We've been dreaming from the first Rashi, saying that this is the Istakel Baraita Bara Alma to be in Eretz Yisrael. Vayaniu is you've told people to just be half-baked. It's okay just to be on the other side of the eastern Jordan River. The biggest message for us today is to not only Shira Malo B'Shuv Hashem et Shivat Zion Aninu Kichomim, of course, to be able to join the Kibbutz Galiyot in Eretz Yisrael and Medinat Yisrael and see the miracle after miracle. That's for sure true. And halavai, that everyone should continue seeing the matana from Hashem that we have here in Medinat Yisrael, enjoying. But just as important is in every part of our Avodat Hashem, to learn from this Cheda Meraglim and not just to be Vayaniu and do things half, just to be V, as they say here in Israel, to check the boxes, but to go and live your ideals, to go and finish and be a Bal Chalomot, as Yosef HaTzadik was, or was castigated to be, to actualize your dreams. This is where Be'ezrat Hashem Yibaneh Beit HaMikdash Mhera V'Yameinu, where we'll be able to actualize our dreams, to not just be half-baked, but to really learn from the Cheda Meraglim what we need to do to be that complete Eved Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.